When you first saw the Atlantis Resort and the Battle for Atlantis courts, did you feel all of your hard work and the fundraising had paid off?
Absolutely. It's an honor to come here. I have to thank my coaches and everyone, the fundraiser that he put together. I loved it. I had a blast.
How has your team morale been affected after this trip?
It's been affected a lot just because we're in a different country and we're really excited. All different teams. We stood together for 5 days. We became a much closer team, and I think when we come back to New York, it's going to be good for us.
Off the court, what have you as an individual gained from this trip?
I mean, I've gained leadership because everyone's been coming to me for directions because I've came to Atlantis Resort before. And I guess I'd say leadership is a big thing that I gained from coming on this trip with my team.
Great, awesome. If you could describe the KSA events experience in 3 words, what would they be?
This is hard because I could use a lot of good words. I'd say amazing, great, and there's so many words, I don't know what to pick. An honor. Yes.
Awesome. And last question, have your expectations been met? Is this trip what you expected?
Yes, this trip is all that. I've expected actually, I wouldn't think it would have been this fun. I'd recommend any team to do this. I had a blast on my team. We're much closer. When we come back to New York, I think we're going to be a much closer team. And I hope other teams do this in the future.
Coach, I know you've traveled with KSA events before. Have your expectations been met out here in Atlantis, Bahamas?
I think they've definitely been met. We've probably exceeded them. We came down, we weren't too sure what was going to happen. I've never been here before, most of the kids haven't. And I think the expectations were great for the kids. There was something to do at all times. There was really no downtime for the kids. And it was a great mix of basketball, educational experiences through the seminars, and fun time for all the kids.
Excellent. What do you think was the most educational part for the team of this trip, expected and unexpected?
I think it was both on and off the court. Off the court, the educational seminars were great. As much as I liked them, what I liked was sitting behind our student athletes and watching how they reacted in their eye contact with the 2 speakers. On the court, I thought the competition was excellent. I thought they made us a better team. And also, on that same note, I think off the court, with the extra activities, just brought our team together even more.
Coach, as you get ready to depart, what is the one thing that you think your team will take with them forever?
Hopefully it's going to be the lifelong bond that they have on and off the court. I think there were some tremendous activities for the kids down here, as well as the games, just the off the court excursions, volleyball game today on the beach, kids sharing rooms and hanging out, and hopefully it's those type of experiences that are going to carry on for the rest of their lives.
Tell us about the team's journey and how you guys got here into the tournament at Atlantis.
I mean, team's journey to get to Atlantis, it took a lot of fundraising, especially a lot of thanks to all of our parents and also other people in the organization. And also we had get a meeting for all our passports, just really exciting. So I don't know, it was an exciting journey for us all.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of excitement behind that too. Right?
Oh yeah.
When you first saw the resort and the Battle for Atlantis basketball courts, what was your first impression?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. We all stepped out and this is the coolest thing ever. I mean, we don't see this in PA or US, so it's definitely cool.
Great. How has your team morale or your team chemistry been affected during this trip? If you have an example too, that would be great.
Right. We did a lot of team bonding. I mean, we're always together. We do things always together. So, I mean, on the court, we came together and we ended up winning all of our games. And then also we ended up going to the beach on our spare time and aqua adventure, which was really fun. So we got really close together, and also we got stuck on an elevator, so we literally got close. So, which is awesome. Scary, but awesome. So.
How has your team chemistry been affected during this Atlantis trip?
Our team chemistry has been affected during this trip because we did a lot of team bonding. We ended up coming together on the court, and we ended up winning our 3 games. And also, we got to go to the beach, and we even got to go to aqua adventure. We even got stuck on an elevator today, which is a little scary, but it's all good now. So we literally got close together, and I don't know, we're tighter as usual, than usual.
Great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, off the court, what have you personally gained from this trip?
Personally, I gained a lot. Like we learned the seminars, and we learned how to do like leadership, and also like passion, and also reasoning as results and stuff. So I learned how to make my leadership onto the court and off the court, so which was pretty awesome.
If you could describe your KSA events experience in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words that explain my experience here. I don't even know. I would say awesome, exciting, and memorable.
How would you describe from a parent's point of view the experience thus far?
From a parent's perspective, having the opportunity for my daughter, who's a freshman on the team, to be here with varsity basketball in another country as a freshman, it's been an awesome opportunity for her. I know that, speaking with her, and also the other freshmen on the team. It's an opportunity for them to see a different culture, to participate on an awesome court and an awesome facility. So it's been a great opportunity for them.
From a parent's point of view, what is one moment that you think your daughter will remember, a highlight moment from the trip?
From a parent's point of view, I think the opportunity for the students to go to another high school, visit another school in another country was just an awesome opportunity. It gave them an opportunity to see what the life is like in a high school in another country. It gave them an opportunity to speak with students in that high school. But for me personally, I think the photo op at the end of the first game between the junior varsity teams was awesome. I mean, just to see the 2 teams, I think it was the red and the blue team, and just in that awesome picture. It was just something special.
What was the most educational part of this trip for your daughter, expected and unexpected?
Well, I think expected opportunities for educational purposes was the travel component. I think having to get a passport, going through that process of obtaining a passport, understanding the process of getting a passport, and then traveling to another country, going through the customs at the airport, I think really shed some light on what it would be like to leave the United States, which for my daughter was her first time ever. And then other components were the leadership opportunities. There were leadership speakers at the event this week, and I think it created an opportunity for the kids to really gain some insight on leadership and what their futures may hold.
How would you rate the service level from the resort and KSA staff, and did it meet your expectations?
The service from KSA was really pretty good. I mean, it was awesome because I know as soon as we got off of the airplane, the KSA staff met us in the lobby at the baggage collection area. They promptly got us onto our buses, led our way to the resort, and as soon as we were at the resort, there was an orientation through what was to be expected throughout the week. They gave us all of our tickets, everything we needed. I think the students were well prepared and really off to a great start. And on top of that, I have to say, the young man that was in charge of the DJing did a great he really did an awesome job. I mean, I think the kids really embraced him throughout the week, and the staff as in general.
Coach, what were your first impressions of the resort and the facilities, and did they meet your expectations?
The first impression I had of this facility was awesome. And yes, they did meet my expectations, and I believe our team's expectations. The facilities where we played, it was great just to be on the same floors that the battle for Atlantis had taken place.
Coach, can you tell us about the preparations on your road to Atlantis?
Our preparations for the road to Atlantis really was an awesome journey. Began with the challenges of fundraising and our parents working together. And we did have some very successful fundraising projects. And then just the preparation of just getting everybody on the same page for all they had to know about this trip and to make this a successful trip.
Coach, can you reflect on your day and your school visit to St. Augustine's?
You know, the reflect on the day that we went to St. Augustine's was phenomenal. I'm not even sure there are words to describe that day. We saw a change in our team. And, and I think it changed some lives that day. I think on our side, and I think on their side. And it brought 2 cultures together, and they shared a bond. And to me, that was a very emotional day, and actually the highlight of the trip.
Coach, what is the one moment, the one thing that you think your student athletes will take back with them?
I think one of the main things that our student athletes are going to take back with them is the team bonding that they're able to share here, for the last 5 days. Not only with our own team, but with teams from around parts of our country, but as well as here in the Bahamas. It's just been a great experience that I know will stay within them for a long time and have a great impact on their lives.
Can you tell us about the team's journey from a parent's perspective prior to arriving here at the Atlantis?
Sure. Prior to arriving here, we do a lot of fundraising to get here. Our boys and our parents work together, to make sure that we're getting all the money raised, and it's a great opportunity for our boys to come and enjoy this experience.
From a parent's perspective, how would you describe the experience thus far?
From a parent's perspective, I would describe the experience as absolutely amazing. Our boys have loved it here. I mean, you cannot beat the Bahamas for a trip. The staff has been fantastic. KSA has been wonderful, and we won, so that's even better.
When you signed up for the trip, what were your expectations and have they been met?
When we signed up for the trip, our expectations really were, we'd been to Florida before. We'd had great experience there, so the expectations were high, and it has absolutely surpassed anything I could have ever hoped for my kid to experience, as well as my family.
Could you tell us about a memorable moment during your trip here for yourself and for your athlete?
A memorable moment for my family and I was going to the dolphin experience. My husband and I both said that we had never, experienced anything that cool. So that was really great for us. And then for my son, he hasn't been around the program all that long. So, just the experience he got playing with teams from the Bahamas down here was, really great and memorable for him.
If you were talking to a prospective coach that was looking into doing this trip with his team, his or her team, what advice or what would you tell them?
If I was talking to a prospective coach about coming to, an experience like this through KSA, I would tell them just absolutely how wonderful it's been. The trip is very organized. There's tons of stuff for the kids to do. It's well planned out. Just everything about the trip and the experience itself, the way the team gets to bond with each other, it's stuff you can't do at home and can't replace.
Could you tell us a memorable moment for yourself and your family as well as for your student athlete?
Well, I'd like to say a memorable moment how we've been here in the Bahamas has been the dolphin experience. We experienced as a family. We also had our young son with us, as well as our daughter playing on the Ossining High School team. And one of the greatest moments, I think it might have been overall, with her actually participating on the first year this year on the varsity and finding that she actually fits in very nicely and contributes.
Very good. From a parent's point of view, how would you describe the experience thus far?
I feel that the KSA has run a wonderful program here. There's nothing for want, and the people are all pleasant here at the resort. We've had entertainment on the family side, which is wonderful, but the girls have had an opportunity to join in with what they wish to do, as well as bond on their own time, both on and off the court.
Off the court, what do you think that your student athlete has gained as an individual during the trip?
Here, through the KSA event, she's enabled herself to participate not just on the team events on the court, but also the off-the-court events through the lecture series and such. It's not only enabled her to show what she can do on the team with her skill set, but also with her personality and interacting with her other teammates.
From a parent's perspective, if you could describe the KSA event's experience in 3 words, what would they be?
Worth the trip.
If you were talking to a prospective coach that was interested in doing this trip as well in the future, what advice or what details would you give them?
A prospective coach should go to an event such as what we've just participated in purely from the aspect of developing their team going into the next season. The next season for many of these teams is only a few weeks away. You're integrating new players, new plays, new tactics, new styles. It's a great way to do it, as well as to see old friends and old foes. We've faced a team last year, which we still haven't found a way to beat, but we will do it at some point in the near future.
I like that.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What was the most educational part of the trip for your girls that was expected and unexpected?
Well, that's always the big question when you do a trip like this, the educational piece, because everybody wants to know why we're going to the Bahamas. And the 2 lectures that we saw this year were outstanding on leadership, and the kids got a kick out of it. It was entertaining for them, but also they learned a lot from it. So I thought they were both very, very good choices.
So off the court, what do you think your players have gained from this trip as individuals?
Off the court was real important for us this year because we're very young. We graduated 9 seniors last year. So our kids spent more time together this week here in the Bahamas than they ever did before. So and I can see like now they're out in the pool together as a team. They've done everything together as a team. And I think it's going to make us better in the long run, the bonding that they have, and they're like sisters now.
Okay, what is a memorable moment or a highlight from this trip that you think that the girls will take with them forever?
There were many memorable moments on this trip. We've done several trips before with KSA. This one offered different opportunities. Everyone's talking about the dolphin experience, which was phenomenal, and I won't say it's not. But just to look on the kids' faces every day, how happy they were. When I read the itinerary for the day, we're going to do this and we're going to do this next, and they were just so excited. This is one trip of all the trips I've done. I don't hear kids saying, I can't wait to go home. They want to stay here. They're hoping for snow so they can stay a couple more days.
If you could explain the KSA events experience in 3 words, what would they be?
I want to come up with a good one.
That's all we need. Done. You just sitting there. It's priceless. Priceless. All right, let's try to get some answers over.
All right, hold on.
I want to ask the prospective coach question too.
Okay. The KSA experience is, in 3 words, is they do it all. It might not be 3 words, but I've traveled many times with many different groups, and you have to worry about so many different things. Here, all you got to do is coach your team. KSA does everything else.
Try that again.
We've traveled many different places. Last year, we went to the Tournament of Champions in Arizona, and we have to do a lot of it, planning on that one on our own. With KSA, all you have to do is show up and play. They take care of everything else.
Okay.
We've traveled with KSA probably 10 times now, and all local schools in my area always ask me why we travel with them and what is it all about. And I just tell them that they take care of all the things that you don't want to deal with. The airfare, the meal plans, scheduling, buses to the games. So I always tell everybody, if you want to just go and play, they're the people to go to. KSA provides an unbelievable experience for you and is educationally based, so you can't go wrong.
Coach, how has your team morale and chemistry been affected during this trip?
Our team morale and chemistry has been affected tremendously. The time we get to spend together and just all the bonding that we've done off the court has really helped us, and I can't wait till we go back and it makes a difference in our play when we go back to our district and just play basketball, and people know that we go to different KSA events, but this Bahamas trip has really made an impact on my team this week.
Coach, when you first saw the Atlantis Resort and the battle for Atlantis courts, what was your first impression?
When we got the information from KSA that they were moving the tournament to Atlantis, we've been traveling with KSA for over 13 years, and we loved the KSA experience. And I said, we got to be a part of the first year to come to Atlantis. And our parents bought in and fundraised for it, and it's just been a tremendous experience. And we love Florida, and I'm not sure we can go back there because the Atlantis has just been fabulous and just an enjoyable experience for our team.
If you could take back one memorable moment from the trip, what do you think that highlight would be?
Wow, one memorable moment. You're putting me on a tough spot here, but I'd have to say everybody loved the dolphin experience. To be able to pet the dolphins and take pictures with the dolphins and the experience they had in the water with the dolphins, everyone keeps talking about. But just everything about the Atlantis experience in the Bahamas has been fabulous for our team here this week.
And off the court, what do you think your players as individuals have gained from traveling internationally?
Off the court, I think my players, by traveling here to the Bahamas, have gained tremendous team camaraderie. I mean, our team has gotten closer together, just being with each other and going to the water parks and going to the dolphin experience and playing on the court, being in a hotel room, just every day being busy doing things. our team has grown to be closer together, and it's really going to help us when we go back home to play in our district playoffs.
Coach, if you were talking to another prospective coach that was interested in taking this trip in the future, what advice or what details would you offer to them?
If I was talking to another coach about the KSA experience, the KSA experience is unbelievable. I love KSA. We've been traveling. I've been coaching at Chartiers Valley for 21 years. We've been with KSA probably 15 of the 21 years of our travel experience. And for us to travel with KSA, there's no other organization to travel with. They take care of everything. When we show up, all we got to do is worry about coaching. The KSA people are just fabulous. They have everything so well organized. It's the best experience for a high school tournament that I've ever been involved with in 21 years, and we will keep coming back to the KSA experience.
All right. Were there any unexpected educational opportunities, cultural or traveling internationally that your kids had?
The educational experience that we received this week were fabulous. We had 2 speakers this week that our kids got to talk about with leadership. And as coaches, we always talk about being leaders on the floor and trying to help your team to become better. And when the speakers talked about leadership and helped our players, we're still talking about those things right now. And we talk with our team about being leaders and about being, great leaders for our team. So the leadership experience that we received this year was phenomenal for our team specifically, because it's a lot of things that we talk about, but it just helped reinforce what we're trying to do as coaches, and it helped our team this week.
Great. And last question for you. If you could describe the experience this week in 3 words, what would those be?
3 words. Just loved it.